It's time to take A Therapeutic Dose, a prescription-strength reality TV podcast that explores the intersection of reality TV and therapy. Possible side effects may include entertainment, strong emotional reactions, and/or laughter. Here are your hosts, Ramona Ramirez and Margie McGee.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Therapeutic Dose, where we meet at the intersection of reality TV and therapy. I am Margie McGee, and with me, as always, is my dear friend and co-host.
Hi, everyone. I am Ramona Ramirez, and Margie, as always, you are the sunshine to my day. It's been raining where you and I both live, and you are a fucking vibrant-ass rainbow.
Oh my God, you're so nice. Thank you. Likewise, I'm sure.
Truth-telling. I'm just truth-telling. That's all I'm doing, dude. It's just telling the goddamn truth, which is
I
what we do on this
appreciate
podcast.
Yes.
We talk about the truth.
Yes,
And the
you're
truth
only as
is,
sick as your secrets.
You're only as sick as your secrets. And the truth is that Tapas and Tattletales, which is season 13, episode 13, was another fucking nothing burger. And coming off of four explosive, wait, are we done? We're done. 4 explosive weeks of Salt Lake City. I don't know. Like, there's so much potential for Beverly Hills. We could talk about the husband with Annemarie. We could talk about the husband with, Kyle, obviously. And we're just not doing shit. So
it just took a real nosedive. It was so intense for like the first few episodes. And now the last 2 have just been like, why am I tuning in? Because Annemarie ain't it. Like, I'm not here for her.
Annemarie, what did you say about, share with the class what you said about Annemarie.
I just said that she's like aggressively boring. She's like a turned up Teddy. She's just like, it's so like, she has a little more personality, I guess, but it's the same set of feelings I have about Teddy, just louder. You know what I mean? I'm just like, go away.
Dude, I'd rather have Teddy back than have Annemarie stay on this show.
I don't know. Teddy's
You're right.
terrible.
You know what? We shouldn't have to choose between two
That's the bottom line.
Horrible options. We should be able to have someone
we should get Jennifer Tilly, make Avi a full-time cast member. Like, there's options out there, everybody.
Yes. I love Avi so much.
By the way, speaking of Sutton, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
Truly nothing. Last week we talked about the fancy grocery store that she went to, like Jade's or whatever it's called.
Jane's, Did you go?
It's in Bel Air. So no, I did not go because I was like, I'm not going to Beverly Glen Circle to find like a $30 turkey club sandwich. But I did spend a lot of time looking on the website and it's gorgeous. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. But that statement is still more interesting than this entire episode.
It is.
You're welcome.
It truly is. And if the next time I come down to Los Angeles, you and I can take a little sojourn to Jane's.
Yeah.
We can start the day off at Jones, getting a Chinese chicken salad and some cute wrapped up gummy candies. And then we can take a sojourn to Jane's, do a little grocery shopping. Sounds like a real fun plan.
I mean, it speaks to me. I love a specialty store. Like, I'm all for that. But I just don't want to drive to Bel Air.
You loved that market that is by my house, Rocky's.
Oh, I love Rocky's. I have my sweatpants. I wear them all the time.
I love those sweatpants. I need to get some of those sweatpants.
The most
They're
comfortable.
So cute.
If anyone has the occasion to be in Oakland and they drop by Rocky's grocery store, it's the best $25 I've ever spent on a clothing item in my life. They're the softest sweatpants. I've had them for like over a year now and they're still soft. They have pockets, but they don't make you look like, hippie. They're just they're some of the best sweatpants out there.
They have like the perfect ankle because I don't like a cuff. I like a jeanie, elastic, like old school sweatpant. And yeah, you know what? If anyone is out there and you are planning on coming to Oakland, please DM us. I would be happy to be your officially unofficial tour guide of Oakland. And, I'll drive you around to all the places. We can talk Bravo, down the line, maybe.
The sage that I bought at Rocky's.
Yes.
At the first of the year, I saged my place using my Rocky's sage. Anyways, that's not why you called.
I get candles there. What?
We're just vamping because this episode is so boring. We were talking about Sutton. We were talking about new cast members that aren't Annemarie or Teddy.
Last night when I was watching, like before the episode started, like before I pressed play, I was like, okay, intersection of reality TV and therapy. Intersection of reality TV and therapy. Like reminding myself what I'm watching for. Like, are they going to give me anything that I can relate to with my history of therapy and my endeavors to better my mental health? And God damn it, like, I don't know if there's one thing. I have a lot of critiques of Dorit. Shock.
It was just...
No, Ramona, you don't say. But like, nothing.
I knew we were in trouble when the episode opened with those like extended scenes of B-roll of Los Angeles. It's like, ooh, we're on the Hollywood Hills for a while. And then we're going to watch a lady ride a bike for a while. And now we're going to hold on the Beverly Hills sign for a while. I was like, why aren't we starting this episode? And then once it started, I was like, I see.
That's why. Because, I mean, we were in Spain and it managed to be a fucking bullshit episode. I saw the little cement part of Runyon Canyon in the B-roll in the beginning. And I was all, that's Runyon.
Yeah.
I could smell the disgusting dog pee.
Acrid dog like piss at the entrance.
It's the most disgusting smell on the planet doing Runyon in the summertime when you're on the dirt. It's just,
that threshold is just gross.
It's
but
vile.
Once you're through the threshold, it's lovely.
Yeah.
But you really have to pay your dues at that entrance.
Dude, I know.
Just hundreds of years of dog piss. It's so gross.
It's vile. It's vile. Well, shall we get into it?
Sure. We start with a packing
I know.
sequence. Garcelle announces she's bringing glam. Dorit is FaceTiming with PK, who couldn't be bothered to not only get out of bed, but not even sit up in bed. He's just lying down.
He's a lump. Oh, I did have something to say about Dorit and the packing scene.
Mm-hmm.
I interrupted you, though. You were talking about PK lying down and being like a job out of the hut. Okay.
That's it. You got it.
So I know that this might not sound like a big deal to people, but the way Dorit talks to her children, in my opinion, is extremely disrespectful and pandering. She, in my opinion, is negating their personhood when she's using, like, the baby talk. These are your kids. They are people. They are young people. They are tiny people. They are people. Not
what
that
did you
talking.
Do?
We just talked to him like I wasn't like. I mean, obviously, I would be like, I would do like the baby talk stuff, but okay, honey, we're gonna eat, or okay, honey, it's time to go Mimi's. Like, okay, baby, it's time to go night-night. Like, it was never anything like that. In my opinion, children are. I believe that they are systemically and subconsciously not taken seriously. Talking baby talk. Jaggy, what did she say? Jaggy, can you bring mama my shoes? Like, he's 8? Is he 8?
I don't even know.
I feel like, I don't either, but.
I don't even know which one is older or younger at this point. They're both
is it Phoenix or Jaggy?
I don't know.
But just like the way she talks to them, I'm like, dude, this is not okay. And it's not cute. You're just... Dorit's gonna Dorit. Oh my God, did you hear that heavy sigh?
Yes. But
like
that's a Dorit Kemsley. Yeah. It's just like, it's a resignation sigh of like, you know what?
That's what it was. It was
She'll never change.
Resignation.
Her children might be doomed because she's raising them. Oh,
I'm gonna remember to use my mute button when I clear my throat.
My mute button doesn't work. I don't know whatever. It doesn't matter. All right. So now we go to Crystal, who's packing, looking for a Spanish dress because they're going to Spain. Sutton and Avi are packing. Sutton rides a suitcase. Sutton announces she's bringing glam, and also she's bringing the ashes of Merce Cunningham. And once again, I don't know what this episode is about. We've had 2 people announce they're bringing glam now, but in the same breath, she's like, and I'm also bringing a Ziploc baggie of a man's crumbs.
Yeah. I can say from firsthand experience that is how they come. It comes in a sealed plastic bag. They come in a sealed plastic bag, and it's so jarring to see your loved one. And like when my mom had sold my grandparents' house in Culver City, we buried them. We buried their ashes under their favorite tree in the backyard.
But it's
And
not remains, it's ashes. Like,
it's
if you were just to bury
ashes.
body
I
parts,
mean,
we
I
have a
think
problem, but
are you allowed to just, like, spread ashes anywhere? You know what? I don't fucking
yeah.
care, and I don't wanna know. I feel like if people need to take their loved ones and bring them to their favorite place that they visited while they were still in this mortal coil, via fucking con Dios. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I
it was
just
on brand for Sutton to be the one doing it. But I mean, we didn't make fun of Carol Radziwill when wait, did Dorinda go back to get ashes or did Carol go back to get ashes?
can't remember. All I
Or
remember is
someone took
Sonia's dog's
ashes?
ashes blowing back in her face when she tried
Oh
to
my
pour him
God.
in the Hudson River.
Yeah.
I guess it just the reason I don't know. Sutton's whole season has just been all of these contrived storylines where it's, her horse Santos, and then it's a matchmaker, and now it's I'm bringing my dead mentor's ashes to Spain. It's just like it all feels like sitcom pitches. You know what I mean? Like these
Oh
are stories
God.
I would pitch in a writer's room and everyone would groan because like, I don't know. I wish I cared. I love that she was a dancer. I love that history, but the
Yeah.
way she addressed it was so disconnected. And I was just like, she just, all this vague language of like, we had a special relationship. Like, I don't know. I'm not suggesting that means romantic. It just is like, what does that mean? Like, what did he do for you as a dancer? Like, I don't know. I'm annoyed with Sutton of like, you know, there's
I
just no
feel like
there with any of her storylines this season except alcoholism. And she's managed to move that one off to Annemarie.
later in the episode when she's explaining to the women who is joining her for dinner, I feel like
Mhm.
she does go a little bit into how significant Merce was,
But just opening it with like,
I
guess
know.
who's joining us for dinner? This
I
box of
know.
it's just like,
Yeah,
why?
I understand what you're saying.
I don't
I
know.
did love the idea of a separate suitcase strictly for handbags and shoes. I'm like, you
Mhm.
know what? Mental note.
Mhm.
Mental note. Where the hell am I going? Where the hell am I going? That
We're
I
going to the
need a separate
airport. Oh, well, I mean,
No, like I
anywhere.
mean that I need to pack a separate bag of
Oh,
shoes
I
and
can
handbags.
overpack to you've seen me when I've come to
Oh, I've
when
seen
I've
you.
driven
I
to your
love it.
house
I
with like
love it. I
30
love it.
bags for 4 days. Like it's
It's
insane.
one significantly massive suitcase that should be going to Europe for a summer, but it's
For
coming to my
for a
house in
summer for
Oakland
like a
for
lifetime.
2 days.
It's insane. It's so heavy. It's
I love
ridiculous.
it. And I understand. And if that's what gets you out of the house and on the plane, if you have to pack half your wardrobe, fuck it. I've
I mean,
tried to fit myself into a description of someone that packs with no issues, and I'm not that person.
no,
I
I
like my
can't. I can't.
stuff.
Well, and
No.
I did relate to Kyle later in the episode when she says, like, I never know what I'm gonna wanna wear, and that's how I feel.
Exactly.
I'm like, I don't know,
Exactly.
so I'm gonna bring everything.
I'm gonna
Anyways,
bring
we get to the
everything.
airport and everyone arrives with their 10,000 bags. Garcelle tells us she's never been to Spain. I've never been to Spain. I wanna go to
I've
Spain.
never been to Spain.
Then we're on the plane and Dorit is in her $1,200 Chanel pajamas. Who
Margie,
cares? Like,
she's
why?
such a try-hard, dude. She's such a try-hard.
It's just there's
Like,
gotta
would
be
she
more
buy them if they
interesting.
weren't Chanel? Would she
No,
buy those PJs if they weren't Chanel? That's a
no.
poser. That's a fucking poser. I'm
And
sorry.
there
No,
there
I'm
are
not sorry.
There are
I
more
retract my
comfortable
apology.
pajamas out there. Like this is just, whatever. Dorit's gonna Dorit, like you
Dumb.
said.
You're right. You're right. Dorit's gonna Dorit.
And now 20 minutes into this episode, we land and board Sprinter vans. And so now we're headed to like Sutton announces that they're gonna draw for rooms and the house is in a town where Merce Cunningham Dance Company first performed in Europe. And I don't know. I wish I had like any emotional attachment to anything anyone was saying at this point. Oh, and then we play a game about Sutton called All of a Sutton. I just, what is this show? It just,
I wonder if, and now this could be. I'm sorry. I interrupted you. Please
I have
continue.
nothing more to say on the subject. I'm
Okay.
just,
It sounded like
I'm
it, but I
throwing my
wasn't
arms
sure.
up. No,
I wonder if it was a producer's idea to play All of a Sudden, but I fucking love that she was like, tell me my cat's names. And I was all, Lil Bit Blanche. Remember her cat? I don't know if Lil Bit Blanche is still with us. I feel like she is, but her cat's name is fucking Lil Bit Blanche. That's amazing. That's the best pet name on Bravo, period.
it's pretty great.
I'll fight anybody. Lil Bit Blanche. I don't know. It spoke to me. And she has a truck. We find out she has a big-ass burly truck. I loved that. I
do
loved that
too,
about
but again,
her.
we don't learn anything about it. I was like, why? Why do you have a truck? Where do you drive it?
Santos.
But,
To visit Santos.
It was just a cute picture of a tiny lady in a giant truck, and then we'd learn
Gotta love
nothing
it.
more about it. She just confuses me.
You
No
can take
end.
the girl out of the South, but you can't take the South out of the girl. But she wasn't like that kind of Southerner.
No, she's
was
not
like
like Phaedra. I don't know what's going on.
Anyway, yeah, the fucking game, I was like, no.
And whoever
no.
wins gets a tiara, and Erica wins, and fine. Then we arrive at the villa 25 minutes into this stupid episode, and we're greeted by Zoe.
It was the longest episode, and nothing
it
happened.
never started. And then it's sort of like the engine turned over for like a minute during that dinner, and then it just fizzled out again. Yeah. Anyways, they're at the villa, sangria, non-alcoholic something for Kyle.
Is that your Shirley Temple?
Oh my God. Again, Erica. It's just the same. We've already seen it. And then Zoe claims this place is haunted by little people. Clearly, this was prompted by producers, because she was like, well, I've never seen them. But I think the producers were just trying to like get something going.
Do something.
So like, say it's haunted,
inject
I guess.
Some sort of like adrenaline. That's right. I thought of it. Stick some adrenaline into this episode. Revive this motherfucker because it is DOA, the last two episodes. Nope, sure didn't.
I would have rather just seen like more beauty shots of the property. It looked beautiful. Spain looks gorgeous. Like I would have just let this be travel porn instead of, trying to get us a haunted mansion storyline. Oh,
Dorit speaking Spanish, Dorit speaking Spanish. How do I explain this? Listen, my Spanish is an abomination to Spanish. I have to cobble together shit in the present tense. Dorit probably speaks better Spanish than I do. However, she can't just fucking speak Spanish. It's got to be like with the flourishes and the blah, blah, blah. And I just, never mind.
I agree.
Doesn't matter.
Whatever you're saying, I absolutely agree. Erica tells us she can smell spirits. They draw for rooms. Erica pushes on an attic door, and that seems to scare everyone because they think ghosts are going to fall out. I don't know. Everyone goes to their rooms to settle in and unpack. The only funny moment that I got was when Dorit had a jump scare from the cameraman when she walked into her room. That was the only thing that I was like, yay, that was something like energized and fun and authentic. And then
oh my God,
nothing.
That's sad. And then nothing.
Yeah. Garcelle's glam arrives. Dorit speaks in Spanish. But she also says, again, it's like Spanish from The Simpsons. She goes, ay, Dios mío. Like the way she talks is just so
Exactly. Like leave that to Marisol and Alexia. Like when Marisol's like, ay, por favor, I'm like, oh, fuck. I need to like get that into my vernacular. I need to just get that comfortable in my mouth's muscle memory because I am so charmed by it every time. Marisol especially. Marisol. Sorry. She pronounces it Marisol. Even, whatever. I just got to get so pissed about everything, don't I?
I mean,
I just do.
We got to find, something to emotionally invest in here. So sure.
I don't know. Yeah. I love the way Marisol throws that stuff out. But yeah, she sounds like she's on the fucking Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
You're absolutely right. That's a great way to, yeah, you're right. You're right.
And then Dorit comes in and evaluates Kyle's wardrobe, which does look like it is all like from H&M or Forever 21. And it's all very revealing clothes, like a thong bathing suit and like a pleather mini dress and whatever. And then Kyle in a confessional says, well, at least I'm not serving widow. And then we see a picture of Dorit in like a high-necked dress. Like, again, I don't...
Fair.
I don't care. I don't even know.
I don't either.
I don't know what I'm supposed to invest in. We've started a story about glam, a haunted mansion, style. Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to. And again, we are 30 minutes in at this point, and I am like, what is this episode about?
It was a slog.
I can't.
I was obsessed with, okay, so my favorite kind of t-shirt and the ones that I vintage shop for the most are like the old school football jerseys with like the stripes and the lower shoulder. And I saw Kyle's t-shirt out of the corner of my eye. I'm like, oh God, I love that t-shirt so much. Am I going to wear a Celine Paris football jersey? Can't 100% confirm no.
Absolutely you would. It would be the softest, most comfortable,
Oh
most
my
well-cut
God,
piece of
I loved
clothing.
it.
I would totally wear it.
I would
I
too.
love like a, you know, I love like $150 tank top because a
I
James Purse tank
know.
top like feels different, lasts longer,
It
fits different.
does.
It's the perfect length and like,
Yes,
I would
yes,
wear a
yes,
Celine
yes.
anything. It's all just made better. Kyle's clothes are cute,
You
you
know,
know?
I was going to, yes. And I was going to say, like, if she wants to wear a thong bathing suit in Spain, yeah, isn't that like standard issue
And since when is
there?
Dorit like clutching her
Exactly.
pearls? So now Dorit is doing what Sutton did at Magic Mike. And I just don't know who these people are
Thank you.
anymore. Nobody's making sense to me.
Yeah.
Weirdly, Kyle is the most consistent at this point. She's just like, I don't
Margie,
drink, I'm thin, I'm dressing cute, fuck off. I'm like, all right, at least that's
I,
makes
and her being
sense.
thin has nothing to do with how she is as a person or she's moral, but I hear,
No,
I
but
understand what
she's
you're
saying
saying.
like she feels good about herself and her body
Yes,
for the first
yes,
time in a long time. And,
yes, yes,
that's a
yeah.
storyline that like makes sense. The rest of this, like, Santos matchmaker, Merce Cunningham,
Merce, I
I
know,
guess I can't get a
the
foothold.
Semois tiara.
Oh
I don't have
God.
another note until Storm comes out when they're on the patio. Like, there's so little that happens,
No,
and
there's
all I
like
have is the
a
ladies love
violinist.
Storm. The
Whoa,
ladies
the
are undressing Storm with their
poor
eyes,
Storm.
and he was really cast as like the main character in their uh, hmm, Spanish fantasies. Their I don't know, I don't know,
It
but yeah, they loved him.
Oh God, it was so uncomfortable. He's so adorable for the
He
record.
seemed
He
really
the second
adorable.
he walked out, I too was like, "Oh my God, he's like
His
young and
name is
cute and he
Storm.
cooks and his name is
Yeah,
Storm." But then when they started in on like, "Oh, let's share him, humana," I was just like, "You guys, this is gross." And it's less about their intensely like horny behavior. It was more about how it was being received. Like read the room.
totally.
Storm was not he was
He
not
wasn't.
there for that. And
No.
you made him uncomfortable. And then I felt sad for Storm because now this, cute young man who cooks had to like slink away back into his kitchen after being
Right.
harassed by a pack of horny ladies. It was so
Yeah.
much. So
And
much.
I know that, how do I explain this? Because I want to be as coherent as I can. Okay. So I know that we have historically like a lot of time. I'm like motioning to like an invisible whiteboard in
I
my
love
booth.
it. I'm picturing one of those like
Anything.
electrical, like the boards where you move things around with your like hands.
Yes.
It's not
Oh,
electrical,
like
whatever.
Steve Kornacki on the big board on
Exactly.
MSNBC.
Yeah.
I'm like
I can't see
swiping.
because it's like off screen. So that's what I'm
Right,
envisioning. I love
exactly.
it.
Well, it's just like more, it's just foam padding. Now I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh, yes, I do. So historically, we've obviously seen men objectify women, younger women. So like I'm saying, like if this was a trip to Spain with just the husbands from the Real Housewives of New Jersey, let's just say, or fuck it, like Mauricio and PK and what's another husband? Oh, Rob. Let's
Marcellus.
just say.
Oh,
Ugh, Marcellus can't play with any of us. He's gross. He's sidelined. He's what do you call? He's in the penalty box.
sure. I mean, there's so
He's a
many, all
sports
the
guy.
sports
So,
analogies. Yeah.
so if we saw all of the New Jersey husbands objectifying a much younger house staff, female house staff
Like
in
Storm's
Spain,
sister. Did you see
like we
Storm's
would,
sister?
yes,
She was
yes, yes,
gorgeous.
gorgeous.
Oh my
They were both
God.
very genetically superior people,
Oh
just
my God. They're
looks wise
stunning.
only. Right. So if we saw that, I think we would all be pretty grossed out. And so I'm trying really hard. Like last night when I'm watching, I'm like, why is this bothering you so much? I don't think I like anyone being sexually objectified unless it's like you say with enthusiastic consent. And I can't imagine like carrying a tray of drinks out and just being like pounced on with eyes and comments. Like, I did not ask for this. It's one
I
thing if he's
mean,
like, hi, ladies, how you doing? They're
yes,
like, all
it's a
right,
very different
you
energy.
know?
But
How you
there's a
guys
real
doing?
Housewives, like, there's a problem with this in the Housewives
Yeah.
franchise. Like, it happened on Ultimate Girls Trip, and, there some people I think one of the staff member at that house, like, sued because
Yeah.
for harassment,
Yeah.
and it's on camera. He's right
Yep.
to. Like, they were, like,
Yep.
straddling him. Like, it was just
Oof. Yeah.
they could
Yeah.
stand to I know they think it's, like, empowering and hot to be horny,
That's
and
yes,
which
yes.
it is, that's fine. On the Magic Mike
Right.
stage, get into it, have at it, but, like, when you're in Spain and this chef in a castle is trying to tell you that he's
Oh
gonna
my
be serving
God.
tapas, and you just immediately talk about how you're gonna share him and tag team, and I was just like, I don't
Yeah.
know, I felt sad for Storm.
If
He's
he
hot,
wants
he
to be
knows
tag
it.
teamed, like,
Sure,
great.
he'll let them
He'll let you
know.
know. Right.
Yes.
Exactly. He's like, you know what? I'm super into some sangria fueled I can't think of anything in Spanish to say. But yes, if he invited it or if he was like playing along, but he was like, God, get me out of here so I can go take a Silkwood shower. You
Yeah.
know?
It doesn't
Anyway.
do their reaction to Storm does not do much to they later have an argument about how if you're single, you're not lonely and desperate, and I
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
let's look at your reaction to Storm and consider how that might
Right.
read, because it sure does
Oh,
seem lonely and desperate. Anyways, Storm was the highlight of the episode, and he's on screen for 18 seconds, so he was the highlight for me. They all sit for dinner, and now Sutton presents Merce to the group in her hilarious sitcom fashion. She opens a box to show a snack bag full of ashes,
yeah.
and yeah, and then explains her relationship with him. And Erica doesn't know who he was. I consider myself a dancer, and I didn't know who he was. I'm
I thought she
embarrassed.
did. Oh no, she didn't know, but she did say, fuck, I should have known who that was. And
Yes,
she knew who Twyla Tharp was. And
I was
I
impressed with
was
that
impressed.
too. I don't know who Merce Cunningham is, so I felt bad, and I should do some
I
research. But
I feel like I knew his last name, but yeah, I don't know. I didn't like I didn't like that they were all making the plastic bag jokes. It just I don't know. Maybe it's
But
because
Sutton presented it. Like, if you're
she
gonna
didn't put
present
him in a
someone in a
box. Oh, she opened the box though,
she
right?
opened the box
Yeah.
to show the plastic bag. It just and then she called it an envelope. It was just it was a sitcom bit, which makes me feel like I have a hard time
Yeah.
taking seriously that this is a choreographer. Like, if those are really, like, the ashes of a person that you cared about, and now they're just like a butt of a joke at a dinner in Spain, I don't know. I was not comfortable. I'm not comfortable. From Storm on, I'm just like, ugh, get me out of this castle.
Yeah. Oh, I don't want to be in this castle.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty, but
The castle?
yeah, it was pretty.
I j
It was a little rustic for what I expect from watching these shows. Okay, I'm not just a fucking asshole
when
saying this.
when Sutton books your villa, I don't expect a pool that looks like a piece of gum on the ground in the shade. Like, it was, and to me, like, in Europe, everything's much older, so rooms are
Right.
smaller and all of that stuff.
Right.
But, like, I just if Sutton is booking this trip, this is not what I expected.
I
I would have
know.
expected, like, exactly the grounds that this castle was on,
Right.
and, like, the beauty of the architecture, but souped up on the inside. Some of the rooms were beautiful, and
They
then some of
were.
them were like Kyle's room with 2 twin beds. I was like, at least she's
And they were pushed together, right? The two twin beds
sort
were.
of.
That's what I fucking hate about. I can't believe I can't believe. Okay, I'm just going to give a little disclaimer right now before I say this because it's going to sound like the most tone deaf. I'm just going to say it. Just know that I understand this is a fucking first world / high class problem. The one thing I don't like about Europe is they fucking shove two twin beds together. Listen, if you're in the middle, you're bad. Like, it's not good. I don't know. I don't know, dude. Cal
I
King or
mean,
bust if you have the space,
right,
you
but they
know?
don't. Like, that's the thing, is with
You're
these, like,
right, they
old
don't.
structures, there just isn't space. And up to
I know, but like
me,
two twin beds?
I know, but for me, it's part of the charm, because, like,
Ugh,
there's something like you would never see that here. There's no, like, Hilton or Days Inn or extended stay place that would ever,
true.
like, I don't know. I
I've been to
appreciated it.
Airbnbs like that and I was mad.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
obnoxious. That you
Yeah.
can't do. In Europe, it's acceptable. But again, I
It
am
is.
surprised that this is where Sutton, but maybe it had to do with production. They have a whole team of people they have to keep at
And I
this
wasn't there.
place
I
too.
didn't see this villa in real life. I sound like an ingrate. That villa wasn't cute. It's just, you look at shit on White Lotus and you're like, yeah.
Yes,
And then
exactly.
and then we go to
Right.
Spain and it's 14th century and that's, I can appreciate that. I don't like to watch less opulent hotel accommodations or quarters when they go on vacation,
Yeah.
you know?
I thought the outside area was beautiful, which is why I was bummed out when they came in to eat dinner, but whatever.
And
Um,
I would have said that in therapy. I would have said to my therapist, I'm such a dick for saying this about Europe because I don't sound grateful and this is a high class problem, but I don't like the two twin beds pushed together. I would tell her that because I would feel shitty that I'm actually like complaining about something like that. It's just
yeah.
anyway.
I mean, I'm just so
Just
desperate to travel again. I'm like, I'll
I
sleep on the
know.
floor. I don't care. I'll sleep on, Dorit's
You'll
pile of
sleep with the
clothes
mini
that fell on the
goats.
ground. Yeah, I don't care. I
Yeah.
just want to like be in Spain. It looked beautiful. Well, Storm comes out to drop off some small plates and be objectified a little more. And then we have this long sequence of everyone like making pleasure noises as they eat, which was like lame. And then Kyle makes this like very, very American comment where she says that she likes traveling because she's forced to eat what is served. So she has
Oh
to try new
God.
things. And I was like, oh my God, money don't
You
buy you
live in
class.
Los Angeles,
I
Kyle. You
know.
can try new things on one block on Ventura Boulevard.
At the
She doesn't even
highest
have to leave Encino.
quality. I
Yeah,
know. It's just crazy.
dude.
And because she's like, I would never eat that. And I was like, never eat what? On the table was like gazpacho, salmon, ham and
Hormone.
cheese. Like,
Right.
what do you mean
Right.
you would never try that? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And then the episode sort of starts for a minute when fucking Annemarie wants to address the elephant in the room. There is none, but that's fine. And she mentions,
Ugh.
I lost track of how this all laid out. Seems to explain to the group that she apologized to Sutton. Sutton says she wasn't as bothered by the esophagus accusations as much as she was bothered by being labeled lonely and desperate for being
Ugh.
single. And then, Sutton makes a point saying she felt lonelier in her marriage. We've all had relationships like that where you're with someone, but you feel like you've never been farther away from a person.
I'd posit that feels worse. I don't
It's
know.
all bad. It's
It's
all
all bad.
bad.
You're right. You're right. That's all bad. It's all bad. And what Annemarie said was so judgmental, cruel.
Well, people who are
Like
in
she was,
happy relationships don't say shit like that. So, like, you're glad that
oh,
you're hanging on to your
Margie.
marriage, but like, I've never heard someone say that to me if they're comfortable in their
No.
relationship. If
Oh my
they're
God.
afraid of
You're
losing what
absolutely
they
right.
have, then they look at me and they're like, you must be this. And it's like, well,
Oh, dude,
I don't know.
dude.
But the fact that you're commenting on it makes me concerned about how you're feeling, you know?
I don't give a shit about that 8.5.
Oh, God.
And I'm not calling her an 8.5. I'm just repeating what Marcella says. I don't
No.
do that. I would
And
never fucking rate someone, but
she's owned that label with like,
ew.
she finds it charming somehow, which is also, again, lonely and desperate. And then Annemarie gives like the dumbest apology. We've heard it 100 times. It's unsatisfying every time. Sorry if the word lonely hurt you. Sorry
Yep,
if
yep,
anything I
yep.
said affected you or offended you.
It's this is a very and finally we have something to talk about that I would also talk about in therapy. Her apologies are completely defended. Like she is defending herself and her actions. And those are, I'm not going to say anything mind blowing right now. Those are the most unsatisfying apologies. And they're obviously like the most insincere and inauthentic,
I don't know.
doesn't
It's
matter. Not
inauthentic
fucking
sound. That's
authentic.
what my
There.
brain is calling up, but I don't know what's right.
Um, and for her to be like ranting on and on that she is this bastion of education and class, and then to just, I don't know. I know a lot of people can struggle with a legitimate apology that is full of humility and a genuine desire to want to validate and acknowledge and then validate somebody else's feelings. And she is not capable. She's not fucking capable.
She doesn't want
She
to.
sucks. She sucks. I'm all like eloquent and then I'm all, she sucks.
It's that whole, the 12-step distinction of there's a difference between an apology and an amend,
Dude.
Words, apology is just words. You have to amend your behavior.
Yeah,
And there's nothing in what she said that indicates she even understands what she did that was harmful, and certainly no interest in making any adjustments in the future. So
no,
go to hell.
not at all.
And then she moves on to Crystal. So Crystal objects to Annemarie labeling her as insecure. And again, I've lost the thread, but that seems to lead Annemarie to report that when she first met Crystal, Crystal said the ladies are shallow and uneducated and
weren't intelligent.
Right. Which
Dude.
is, not false, but like, I don't know how that makes Crystal insecure. I just didn't understand what's going on. Bring Storm back out.
I don't think Dorit is intelligent. I think that Kyle is intelligent. I do. Am I whack?
No, I think they're all. I think they're all intelligent in their own ways. I think Crystal is suggesting that she and Annemarie are academically superior, and they may very well be. But like, I don't care about that argument. I don't care.
Either.
There are people who are way smarter than me who went to way better schools and have much, higher degrees or whatever. But like, I don't care. Like,
I don't either.
I'm are you a good person type of bitch. So like, I don't know. I find those things really interesting. I love learning about people on that level. But this, to me, it's just like a totally uninteresting argument. I don't know. I don't care. And Crystal really denies it poorly. Garcelle goes, "Did you say that?" And Crystal, in a very unconvincing tone, goes, "I would not say that to someone I just met. I don't feel that way." And it's like, whoa. The first sentence was like, so you absolutely would say that.
How can I be rigorously honest about this, but also not admit that that's what I did? And then they're all roll tape.
Yeah. To me, this
damn it.
This explanation sounds very much like her tagline, where she says, they say,
yes,
wisdom comes with age and I'm proving them wrong. And I was like, huh?
That's not the flex you think it is.
No.
Crystal, you're basically saying, I'm dumb, even though I'm young.
Yeah.
Anyway, who knows? Do you have anything else to say about Crystal or?
No, just I thought it was like lame for Dorit to take a swipe at her being a child bride. She said, well, you were busy getting married at 12. Oh, great. Let's get into it. Have at it.
I have a paragraph because I don't know if you knew this. I'm not really like super on board with Dorit. No, I'm just kidding.
I didn't explain.
I know, right? I said, fuck you, Dorit. Like hell you were building a business at 24. And I'm conflicted about the child bride comment. Now, 24-year-old Crystal and 24-year-old me, incredibly different people. I would have probably like barfed at the idea of dating someone who was 45 when I was 24. But when I was 24, I feel like I was, I don't know, like I feel like I got stuck at like 20 and didn't leave 20 until I was like, I don't know, 32. But Crystal seems really mature. And maybe Rob was her mental equal. Maybe Rob was just being cliche Hollywood guy. Maybe it's both. But I don't know. They seem like a great match now. But Dorit has she has just like, she should not have as much audacity as she has. She's in her own little Dorit world. And I hate that world. And I don't believe that she was building a business at 24.
Well, and it's also...
and she was so judgmental and critical. Like,
that's why I circle back to, if you're happy in your marriage, you don't have this much to say about someone else's. You married PK. We've seen your wedding day pictures. He looks the same. How dare you come at her for marrying an older man? Like, if gross is like, if that's the, objection, then like, don't get in that ring, Dorit. Do not.
Rob Minkoff over PK any day of the week, of the year, of the millennia, of the amount of time in perpetuity.
Give me the brave little toaster all day, every day, as opposed to Boy George living under my roof. And yeah.
Oh my God, totally. And like owing $2 million to a casino. And going,
again,
Berlin.
ladies and gentlemen, Berlin.
I mean, a Pretty Woman date. Come on. Rob would never plan a Pretty Woman date.
I don't think so.
Rob Minkoff? No.
I don't know.
He'll take you to the Brave Little Toaster premiere.
Yeah, but that seems like at least I know who he is, you know?
Right.
I'm going to get Lion King merch and, you know, I'm going to get invited to like screenings of the Brave Little Toaster, and that's fine.
And I'm going to get to hang out in their rad basement rumpus room. I love their downstairs bar.
I hate a windowless room. I hate it. I don't understand why rich people think that's cool. I'm like, you have so much money, build it all above ground.
It's a clubhouse vibe. That's why. Ugh. It's a clubhouse vibe. In my opinion, that's...
no, I'm claustrophobic, so making me walk downstairs into a closed space, I'm like, this isn't fun.
I get it.
You're too rich. I get it. But it looks lovely. I mean, it's nice down there. The Gatsby party was down there, right?
Oh my fucking God.
But it looked lovely. It was great for that
Gatsby party in 2022.
Fine. It's just not, there's lack of creativity.
I mean, my God, it's a staggering lack of creativity. I don't need to be ranting about this. Crystal denies saying that they were not intelligent, not educated, and that they were shallow. And then they roll tape from 2020 and oh shit, they are clearly not highly educated. And I don't remember this, but it's not okay. It's not okay to say that. And
it didn't bother me that much because she said these women are savvy, but they're not highly educated. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Dorit's not fooling me. I don't think she has a Harvard degree. That's fine with me. She's savvy.
Does she claim to have a Harvard degree?
No. But like, I think Crystal's just saying, like, making the distinction between, again, an academic education and, you know, a way of moving through the world. Like, I don't know. It didn't bother me that much. And it's also kind of true. So like, I don't know.
That they're not highly educated. I mean, listen, I think that there's a lot of different kinds of smarts.
I agree. But I'm thinking like, if I'm in a room and somebody presents me with Dorit Kemsley and Michelle Obama and they say someone who's highly educated, I'm pointing.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess that in my head is like what Crystal's thinking of is like, what kind of conversation would I have with this person? I'm having a very different conversation with Michelle Obama than I'm having with Dorit Kemsley. God. So that's you know, I don't think they're vapid and pointless and whatever, but you know.
Fun fact about me and Margie, we hugged Michelle Obama. We've hugged Michelle Obama.
We did, but I got my hand
slapped
away.
At Gwen Stefani's house.
That's right.
I know.
I got my hand slapped away by the Secret Service. No, but they need to be. It's instinct when you go into a picture. I put my arm around Michelle Obama's waist and the Secret Service immediately like swatted it away. So in the picture, I have like my arm very like staunchly down by my side. But
that day was hotter than that was the hottest day. That it was like so hot. But yeah, it was an amazing day.
That property was so beautiful. Michelle Obama's the living best. And yeah. That was a time. What a time. I miss those times. Remember this country way back when?
Dude.
Hope, change. Anyways.
So it sounds like to me that Garcelle knew that Crystal said this about them not being highly educated, but she also didn't. Was she hurt by that? I can't remember.
She just said that Crystal has a history of like behaving in a patronizing manner toward the women. And then they show a whole montage of her talking to them like idiots. Like, this is what the word means. Look it up. And Garcelle's like, we know big words, you know? So I think Garcelle's attitude is right. It's just like, yes. And like, that's who Crystal is. She's someone who like needs to, you know, whatever.
Reckon with her insecurity by putting other people down about their education?
I guess.
Bringing up what the differences are? Yeah.
And then this whole argument that comes up, Annemarie claims that Crystal said that Crystal is the only real socialite in the group. Like, I didn't even know this was like anything that was at issue. And then Crystal argues with like semantics, like, did I say I'm very social? Yes. Did I say I'm a socialite? No. And I'm like, I just don't care about any of this. And I don't understand why everyone's getting so heated. I didn't even consider any of them socialites. Sutton announces that she is, but
Sutton absolutely. Sutton absolutely I thought of was a socialite. Absolutely. I'm sure she was when they lived in Georgia before they moved out to
that sounds
California.
right, but I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, she lived in I'm not going to sound very intelligent right now, Crystal. Sorry about that. She lived in one of the southern states where like being a debutante and having cotillion and all that shit was like a big deal.
I
And
guess weirdly, I think of socialite as like rich and dumb. I think of like Paris Hilton and Tinsley
yeah,
Mortimer. I wouldn't be saying like, I am the only socialite. I'm like, that sounds like money bought you your
right.
position on this planet and that's enough for
Also like
you.
aim
I don't
high, I
know.
guess, like what so you get your pictures in the beginning of Vanity Fair in the quasi like editorial. What are those? What is that? What is the technical name for it? Not editorial, advertorial. Who fucking knows? Don't listen to me. It's stupid. I don't need to go on this tangent. Erase. Men in Black that.
Um,
Wipe it away.
I mean, it's just, and we move on. Annemarie accuses Crystal of needing to feel superior to everyone, which is also not false. But then Crystal has her name 'em moment where she just keeps screaming like, give me an example, give me another example, give me another example. And then everyone's like, let's go to bed. And they do. Like,
I
what is the show?
I don't know. I feel like Crystal has never been this activated by somebody else on this cast, not even when they were discussing race, the first season that they were both on. I don't think she's been this activated by someone. So I wonder if there's some point of finger, but there's fingers pointing back, which scares me because if that's the case, does that mean that I'm pointing my finger at Dorit and there's like 3 fingers pointing back at me or 4 if it's my thumb? Oh, I'm fucked. If I'm like Dorit, if I'm looking at Dorit and the things that bug me about her are really things I need to look at in myself.
Absolutely.
Oh
But it
my
doesn't mean you're
God.
Dorit. It just means like we have unresolved things that,
I
But
don't want anything in common with her.
I honestly think Crystal is so upset because she's being exposed. Annemarie, I think Crystal did say, welcome
Interesting.
to the group. These women are idiots and they're not educated. And Annemarie said to the group, when I first met this woman, the first thing she said about you guys is this. And I think Crystal's pissed because she thought that Annemarie was going to be her highly educated, better than all these idiot, heiresses.
Allies.
Yeah. So
Oh God.
yeah, but then everyone goes to their haunted rooms.
I
Garcelle
said,
tiptoes to Sutton's for snacks.
I
Sorry, what?
said, my God, this episode is still just some bullshit and poor Garcelle and fuck the crib room.
Oh my God, that was
What
weird.
the hell? I guess they have it there in case babies stay.
Oh, but it was like a wire crib. It was like a.
No, thank you.
I wouldn't put anything
Hard
that I
pass.
loved inside of that. That was
Oof,
weird.
God, just get rid of it. Get a Greco and call it a day. Greco?
I
Greco? Who doesn't matter?
I think it's, I don't
Just
know,
ignore
whatever.
me.
No,
It doesn't.
no,
It's
it's
literally the
it's
least
like
important
literally
thing on the
one
planet
of
right now.
2 like baby baby thing brands.
Ah,
I did think it was funny when Garcelle made fun of Sutton's giant neon orange hat that had like 2 weird holes
yeah.
cut in the front of the brim. But I just like love their relationship. I'd rather just watch those 2 like hang out
Me
and talk and
too.
make fun of each other
Me
than
too.
all of this crap. I
And
want
that's that.
Storm and then I just want Sutton and Garcelle hanging out.
I love that they can just be so authentic with each other. That shows a lot of trust in your friendship. When you can
Mhm.
say to your friend, not only is that a hat offensive to my eyes, like I really urge you to reconsider before you wear that out in public. Like when you can say something like that and your friend knows it's a sense of humor. You have a sense of humor, like that's the fucking best. And it felt like a good amuse-bouche from all of the Annemarie bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah. I loved that scene. I thought it was sweet and tender and like adorable and
Yeah. And I love that it gave us a flashback to them having a sleepover in Vegas where
oh
Garcelle
my
said my
God. I
favorite
don't
line in
care
the
if you burn.
world. I
Yes,
don't
that's
care
the
if you burn.
best. That's the best.
Yeah, I love their relationship. So that was a nice little palate cleanser, as you said.
Oh
But then
God.
it's the next morning. And again, in line with this episode, these are the opening lines. Kyle asks Erica, what are you wearing? And Erica says, I slept 1 hour. And I was like, what is even happening? That was like a really simple question. And the answer was just an irrelevant non sequitur. And that's this episode in a nutshell, if you ask me. It was just confusing. It was not entertaining. I don't know what's happening, but that's how the day begins. What are you wearing? I slept 1 hour.
Do you have any notes before Erica doing vocal exercises? Because that was another thing I had some stuff to say about.
Her White Lotus theme song attempt.
Oh my God. So, Margie, you and I, theater people, very familiar with vocal exercises. I knew, and did you know like straight away what Erica was doing?
Of course.
When she was, yeah.
And I know the type.
For those of you who aren't watching,
theater major on vacation who needs to do vocal warm-ups in Barcelona.
Yeah. Holy shit.
You're fine.
For people that aren't watching us on YouTube right now, like the look that Margie gave when I was like, did you know that they were doing vocal exercises? And she just gave the most exasperated look like, yes. It was
dead inside.
Pure poetry. Exactly. Yes. So all episode, so Margie and I know exactly what she's doing. It's like apparent to us. For all the talk about how worldly fucking Dorit is, how she's always, she's educated, built her business at 24. What is that? What is that? What is that? Like, so surprised by what Erica is doing. And then she's like, oh yeah, Boy George does those all the time. Call Boy George by his real fucking name, which I can't remember what it is. Is it George O'Dowd? I can't remember. Maybe I'll look it up and I'll throw it in the show notes. I don't know. It's not that important. My point is, if George does them all the time, the only thing I can conclude by that is that Dorit has to hear herself talk. And so if she needs to like be walking towards wherever they're all waiting and Erica's doing her vocal exercises and go, what is that? What is that? She's just shut up, sit down, take a breath.
Go
get a coffee.
Honestly, both of them. Because if I heard someone doing that, it would be my polite way of saying shut the fuck up by saying like, what is that? What is that noise? And I would hope someone would be like, I'm stopping. But did you notice Erica was doing the White Lotus song when she was going?
I didn't.
Oh,
I didn't.
Maybe I was wrong,
that.
but she did it twice, and I was like, that sounds like the White Lotus theme song.
Oh.
Anyways.
Oh, yeah, I did. I did have something like therapized to say about that. I should have turned my notes over. So
please.
I was like saying, I need to deal with my being intensely triggered by bullshitters. And then I said, BT dubs, it probably has to do with my dad. The fact that he had so many people fooled about who he really was. And so when I encounter bullshit, my body just like drains itself of patience and tolerance and compassion and like a willingness to let other people just be. Mm-hmm. Because it's personal. It's fucking personal. And it's enraging. So that's it. Anyway, and then I wrote, ha ha ha, oh my God, this is ridiculous.
I mean, truly, like it all, but eventually it all boils down to that. It's like, what is this? Now we have Garcelle is talking with Annemarie. Annemarie is claiming she doesn't lie. Annemarie, I talk about in therapy quite often how I have Margie dysmorphia, where I'm like not quite sure what I look like, what I contribute to the world, and like, what my value is, whatever. And I feel like Annemarie has like Annemarie dysmorphia, but in the other direction, where she's certain that she's all these things that she's absolutely not.
Right.
Like she's not an 8.5. She's a 10 at some things. So she's wrong on that front, but she's also wrong in saying she doesn't lie because she's been caught in lies seconds after she pronounces one thing and then says, no, I didn't say that. Anyways, it was just this whole sequence. I was like, Annemarie, do you not know who you are? Or are you just in denial? Or have you just decided that you're someone you're not and you think you're going to talk everyone into believing it, even though we're watching you be someone who's not this? Yeah.
This is a persona. I believe this is a persona. Her voice is so affected. And she's very attached to she leads with her accomplishments, her job title, her education, her fucking workouts, her whatever. Like she leads with her accomplishments instead of her heart. So she's just like, it's just fucking ego gone crazy and it's repellent. No shit.
Talk about insecurity. If
Dude,
you're leading with all of
yes,
your resume
yes,
qualities instead of
yes.
your eulogy qualities, something's
Yep,
wrong.
yep, yep. Ooh,
And then,
then
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, no, you can. Go. Yeah.
Just we move on to Sutton and Crystal. And Crystal says she doesn't believe that anyone believes Annemarie's report that Crystal is an elitist gossip, basically, who finds women uneducated. And then we cut to Dorit and Erica, who, in in some words, say they believe Annemarie, which is fine. But I think
Yeah.
their reaction is fine. It's like, yeah, it's not completely unfounded that Crystal could say something like this, and then onward with the day. Who cares?
Yeah. It's like I
No,
tried so
but
hard. No, I tried so hard to pay attention to those little duos that were chatting,
mhm.
and I don't know. I think
It's a snooze.
I checked out.
Yeah. I mean, they just basically recap the argument from last night. The only like slightly interesting thing was that Crystal tells Sutton that she's just going to move on from it. And she says to Sutton, I don't need an acknowledgement or an apology like you do. I don't need to hear someone say that. And again, that just makes me think like, oh, Crystal is busted. And so she just wants to move past this because she doesn't want to dig
Right.
into it because she'll be found out. And so she's just
Oh
saying,
my God, Margie, you're
not
a
only
super
does
sleuth.
I don't know, not only
No,
does
you are.
I would have been fine if she'd said, "I'm just gonna move on from it," but the added measure of shutting Sutton down by saying, "I'm not like you. I don't need someone to acknowledge." I was like, "God, you're so rude." That was really
Dude, you're
unnecessary.
right. I don't need one like you. That's so
Yeah. Just don't add that. Just leave that part off.
yeah, yeah. Seriously. And you
Yucky.
shouldn't have to be told that. Like I feel like that's kind of like a common sense thing. I don't need an apology like you. That's so defended and critical and judgmental and just you don't say that to your friend. You don't say that
It's
to anybody.
just unnecessary. It's that added level of like unnecessarily mean. That to me, that's that like alcoholic addicty behavior of like you can't just accept your own responsibility for your own behavior. You have to make the other person feel like shit. And like
Dude.
this was a very minor version of that, but like that was the
Right.
reaction I had. Was I was just like, "Ooh, why would you say something like so
Yeah.
it feels like a personal dig. I guess you could say it's not somehow, but like the way you delivered it, how you delivered it just feels like you wanted to shut Sutton down, shut her up and make her feel small.
Right.
She's already small.
She's so
She's so
teeny.
tiny."
She's a little ballet dancer. Then we're all gathered together as we're waiting for the Sprinter vans to take us on the most carsick inducing drive that we've ever seen in the history of this channel. Erica Jane tells the group, Crystal in particular, that she just got some important news. And it can't be proven in the upper courts that Girardi Keys used settlement funds to pay for Erica's $750,000 diamond earrings. This is not the flex you think it is, Ms. Girardi. It just means that the upper court isn't going to do it, but it's still going to be debated in the lower court. This is not an admission of innocence. They're just not finding the right evidence yet. But I'm sorry. That money was not separate from, I'm touching my invisible whiteboard again. That money was not separate from any settlements. In my opinion, obviously none of us have proof. I don't know.
Well, it was just, I'm with you. Like, this is not vindication. This is like, the court simply said that with the evidence we have right now, we cannot directly say that those earrings were purchased with
Yep.
funds that were stolen from victims
Yep.
and widows. But Erica just like righteously waiting for the women to congratulate her was just so, because like you said, it's not over yet. Like, this is one
No.
decision. She got a decision that went against her initially. The next court has reversed it and it will continue to be prosecuted. So I don't know. Why would they throw you a parade right now? It's not over. You said yourself it's a long game. But she just basically is saying, I told you so, and wants everyone to like applaud her. She's so desperately unlikable. It's nauseating. I just can't even believe that she's bringing this up. It makes her look like shit. And I love Garcelle's confessional saying, I wish she'd let the
Yep.
earrings go, give something back to the victims. It's so
Yeah, dude.
obvious to anyone
It's
who's
so
human.
obvious. It's so obvious. I would be mortified to keep them. If I'm in that marriage and if I truly am the person that Erica Jane says she is, meaning I had no idea what my husband was doing with settlements. If I really am that person, I'm fucking giving those earrings to whoever will take them and cash them out and hand them to the victims, hand the money to the victims. But
She's just so
she's so
self-centered.
she's so self-centered.
She can't see it like that. She sees it as like, you're accusing me of something I didn't do, and in order to prove I didn't do it, I'm going to fight victims and widows. It's just like,
God,
you are
no shame.
so, oh God.
No shame.
And it's all
Shameless.
the way she's talking about it. It's not about keeping the earrings. It's just about proving this point. And while she's proving her point, people aren't getting skin grafts that they need. People aren't getting the money they need to have a proper burial for their loved one who died on a plane. Like, just
People aren't getting therapy to process such a huge ass trauma.
Truly.
Trauma that you either like lost somebody or trauma that you experienced.
And trauma multiplied by the fact that you were promised funds to support you through this horrible loss.
Oh
and
my God,
you don't get it.
Lied.
So just
no.
trauma on trauma on trauma. And this bitch is like, throw me a parade because I told you so, even though it's not over. It just is so gross.
I wouldn't be able to wear those earrings and enjoy myself. I would just be like, oh, fuck, like covering my ears. Yeah.
I would be
so
mortified at the whole experience. Like, again, we talked about this before. It's just, there's no world where I would say anything but like, this is disgusting. I knew nothing about it. I will do everything in my power for the rest of my life to make this right,
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean diminishing her own lifestyle. It just means giving up a $750,000 pair of earrings. That would go a long way. Anyways, she's awful. She's awful.
She's
relentlessly awful.
Inexcusably damaged person. She needs, yeah. And then she references her therapy.
Girl. And they cut to the empathy part. For them.
Oh my God.
For them. She just can't get there.
Yeah. I have another note that says, my God, Margie, this episode is a nothing burger 2 weeks in a row. So I wrote that twice. And then we're on our way to the church.
Sutton burps. Crystal gets car sick. I mean, like, what the car pulls over, then it continues up the hill. And then Crystal is really sick, I guess. Her hands are swollen and her veins are popping out and she's sweating and whatever. But Annemarie, so she's trying to convince us that she's this medical professional. And she goes over to Crystal and she goes, they are popping out. Oh my God. It's like, that's not what you want to hear from the medical professional. And certainly, like, the nurse is the person you kind of rely on to, like,
to
mind
be the voice of reason or calm
just
everybody
to, like,
down.
Exactly. Like, mind your anxiety a little bit instead of aggravate it. But I don't know. I don't know if you noticed, but Crystal, at one point, they sort of zoom in on her veiny hands. And at one hand, the veins popped out in the shape of a cross. And I'm not even lying. I will take a screenshot. It was really weird. So they're at a church.
Exorcist
100%. Maybe that house is haunted. What do I know? And then Kyle announces she's going to call 911. I don't think it's 911 in Europe, is it? It's different.
I don't know. I don't know.
At least she's going to like take some action to take care of.
999 isn't. I know. I think it might be 999 in the UK, but I'm not sure. Like if that's abroad, all over Europe. But yeah, I mean, listen. As someone that gets car sick, I can't really look at my phone in the car. If I'm the passenger, I get sick. I can't read on a plane. Yeah, dude, I carry Zofran with me all the time. I carry it with me all the time. Nausea's the worst.
That drive looked really tough. I think
it did look tough.
Did we drive together? We went to Big Bear once 100 years ago. Do you remember that?
Yeah, we did. Yes.
I don't know if we drove together. Did we drive together? I don't remember because I was so car sick on that drive that I was just like, just get me there. Just get me there. I was like, I just remember like biting back barf and being like, this isn't real. You don't need to barf. It's just your brain.
I'm sorry.
No, it was beautiful. We were there. It was like, there was a snowfall. It was gorgeous. But
it was so fun.
It takes, some winding roads to get there. And this looked, just
it was
sheer
it was
cliff
treacherous and
drop-offs.
terrible.
There's just everything that would be anxiety inducing about that. So, and Crystal had just been busted in a lie the night before. So her nervous system is probably a little fried.
Margie,
You know?
see, you look at shit from a holistic perspective.
I
Yes.
don't know.
She was still carrying around a little, she was probably still carrying around a little, some sticky feelings.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say
or
she
maybe
didn't
she
look
wasn't.
right. She didn't look right when who was she talking to? I forget. When they were talking about the events of the night before, she didn't look right. She looked a little sickly. I don't know, maybe she was hungover or something, but anyways,
I mean,
who
remember how
cares?
shitty you would feel like before we got into therapy, or if we were like, I don't know, having a moment way back, years back, when you're trying to, I don't know, manage a situation, manage an outcome, and your body does have like a physical reaction. And it takes a while to you need something like somatic to get you out of it. Somatic, right? Like a somatic change. Oh my God, I could be using this completely wrong. Like if I'm ever having a moment where I feel like I can't get out of, like I can't stop holding my breath or clenching my jaw or something, my therapist is like, get an ice pack and put it on the back of your neck, get in the shower, just do something to like snap you back into your body in a really shocking physical way. Who gives a shit? We're talking about Crystal. I don't know. Maybe she just got car sick.
And also, they have been traveling. They traveled for what, like
Yeah.
18 hours, and then they ate dinner at 11 p.m. I'm sure they did only sleep 1 hour. Like this wasn't the ideal day to take
Sangria, probably drinking and benzos on the plane, and
a winding road is a tough move
gnarly.
on the heels of that.
Hard pass.
But anyways, that was an episode about nothing. I remember we've just finished talking about it for an hour, and I remember nothing, and I won't. So whatever.
It was like I had to pause it several times last night to just kind of complain out loud.
I just kept looking at the timestamp, and I was like, "Are you serious?"
Me too.
We're 20 minutes in,
like,
and we're still at the airport.
17 minutes left. Oh God,
my
yes,
God.
yes. Man, I do love a pod in first class.
Oh, those look lovely.
I just want to go in a pod. I want to go in a pod.
That looks pretty dreamy.
Friend, what else did you watch this week? I do know one thing that you watched this week.
What's that?
Did you watch? There was like a really big football game on over the weekend, right?
There were two. Sorry. There were two, and yes, I watched them both.
Yeah.
And probably why this episode of Beverly Hills felt so lackluster is because everything else that I did watch this week, and I had a big TV week. I don't know what happened. I just found
myself. It rained. That's why.
Oh, that is what happened. I was just on the couch constantly.
Yeah. Oh, I wish I'd
so
been there.
Fun. I know.
With your fucking great ass turkey chili and the Cadbury mini eggs and Evelyn.
It's all happening
TV.
Over here. Yeah.
I would have watched football with you.
You wouldn't have to. There was so much other good stuff. I watched The Bachelor. I thought he's darling and adorable, and I can't wait for this season. I finally started watching season 2 of The Traitors. It's great.
I have to. I keep seeing it, and I'm like, okay, thank God. Because I mean, fucking
so
Alan
good.
Cummings too. Yeah,
he's amazing. It's just so bizarre and campy and ridiculous, and I love it.
I can't wait.
And it's just such
good.
a great place to put reality TV personalities. It's such a great use of who and what they are.
Okay,
and then,
all right, I'm going to watch it.
Also sports related. There's a series on Netflix called Breakpoint, and season 2 has just been released, and I started watching that, and it follows tennis players, and this series was shot last year at the Australian Open, which is the current tennis competition tournament that's going on right now. So I was watching. They follow very closely these players, and again, this has always been my into sports, is getting to know these personalities and falling in love with them. So you see what they go through in 2023. And then I was watching the Australian Open 2024. And it was a great little crossover of reality, documentary TV, and sports. Sports is the original reality TV, if you ask me.
You know what? That's a really good point, because
it's emotional. It's all about the people. Skill is one thing, and they all have it. But like the mental game is where it's at. Like that's what's
The Last Dance. The Last Dance is... I mean, yeah, okay, fine. Call it a docuseries. That was reality fucking television, and it was fascinating. If you're not a Bulls fan, if you're not a Michael Jordan fan, if you're, I don't know. Like, it was riveting television. The Lakers documentary, riveting. reality TV, for sure.
Yeah.
The NBA is chock full. Love the
All of
NBA.
the leagues are. I mean, I think that's why the transition for me was so easy from sports to reality TV. I'm obsessed with all of it just because I'm watching people behave, and it's, different stakes obviously in those worlds. But anyways, it was great. If you are so inclined, Breakpoint on Netflix is great. The Bachelor was great.
Okay.
The Traitors was great.
I was walking home with my friend. We walked the kids to school, and then we were walking home, and she said that she looked up the athlete that you talked about, the one that
JJ McCarthy.
meditates.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
she just was so pleased to hear about him and curious. And I loved that. That's great.
He's a very
I should look him up too. I should Google him too.
You'll see
Meditating
him.
quarterback.
He's announced for, he's going into the NFL. You'll see plenty of him. But I love that the next generation is moving into sports, people who believe in meditation and mental health care.
Yes.
Maybe that
Yes.
will mean, not that it's any of our business, but maybe that will mean people can start coming out in their sports, maybe it
Right.
won't matter so fucking much. I don't know. There's a lot to change in that culture,
Right.
but it's
There is a
starting. And
lot.
people like JJ McCarthy being like super, barefoot by the goalposts for 20 minutes before every game.
Love it. Love it. He's being
10
of
years ago,
service.
people would be like, woo woo.
I
But
know.
now
They
it's like,
totally
well,
would. Right. Right.
maybe, but he
Right.
won everything. So,
Right. Exactly.
anyways,
Exactly. Anyway, I thought you'd appreciate hearing that
I
because,
love that. It makes me
yeah,
very happy.
I too watched The Bachelor. I was just like every year, every season, not even every year, every season, I'm like, Ramona, why? Why? And you know what? I can't fucking quit it. And I don't care what the
But
hell
don't you
else
think
is
he's
on a
cute?
Monday night. I think Joey is darling. And I love that his family is not conventional. I love that he is not the typical white bread, evangelical Christian, influencer, uh, frat guy. He's so charming. His family, like him being, especially on this show, to everyone has this fucking attachment, like, oh, my parents are still together. I want to love just like theirs. If people are together, that is not an automatic, check mark that everything is fine. Like that is
Yeah.
uh,
And
right.
also,
And
I reject the idea that a divorce is a failure. Like
hell yeah.
relationships have shelf lives like anything
Yep.
else. Some last forever and some serve their purpose and then need to be discarded. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I hate that too. And I did notice that everyone's like, my parents are divorced, but I want a relationship like my grandparents who are still
Dude,
together. And
it's
I'm like,
like,
who cares? Just try. It's a gamble. It's 60-40 no matter
right.
what. If you love someone and you like marriage, take the leap. I'll go to your wedding. I love a wedding. I don't know. I just don't think it's like,
You looked so cute at my wedding. Your outfit was so fucking cute.
I had so much
God,
fun
I
at your
love that
wedding.
outfit. I'm so glad.
It's the best.
Yeah, it is going to be a good season. It is going to be a good season. Joey he's great. But what other Bachelor did I have high hopes for lately that completely disappointed me?
That's always a possibility. But at least
I
he's not
know, but
Clayton. He's not, at least he's like a dimensional person with
he does
talents and
seem like
interests
it.
and,
He likes the ladies that have melanin too. And I, as someone who is Gen X and as someone who has watched all, did this show come out in 2003? I don't know. I mean, I watched it it doesn't matter. My point is the typical contestant on that show, blonde, blue-eyed, beachy waves. You know what I'm saying?
Emily Maynard
Quasi-evangelical.
kind of thing.
Emily
Yeah.
Maynard, thank you. To see so many brown and black women, so many different hair types, so many different cultures, and he was like so stoked. I was like, oh my God, I love Joey.
Yeah, I think maybe that's why it's exciting too, is it feels like an actual dating pool. It's not
Right,
just this like curated bunch of 24-year-old
right,
blondes. It's like a whole
right.
bunch of different types. And I find them, yeah, I've already picked my favorites, but I think they're too boring for him. And he probably won't go the distance with them, but I like them. I like that girl,
I just,
Rachel, who is just like the nicest person in the world. And then the girl with the cochlear implant, I liked her, but I feel like
oh,
they're not like, hot and sexy, so they may.
Who's Rachel again? I don't remember who
Yeah,
Rachel is.
why would anyone? I don't know why I remembered her name was Rachel, but she had a big long black dress on. She was just nice. She was from Hawaii. She put the
Oh,
lei
yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
him. Her energy was
Oh,
she was just kind to all the
curly brown
women.
hair.
She
She
was
was
kind to all the women
stunning.
inside. She
Yes,
was
I love her.
I just liked her. But again,
Yeah.
she's mature, which will probably be the kiss of death on this show. But
I don't
anyways,
know. Joey
he's
seems
different.
like
He's
he's
different.
got some. I mean, listen, his dad came out as gay, and his parents got divorced as a result of it. That is going to be a situation that I would assume really changes a person. And if you're the kind of person that can, how do I explain this? He loves his family. His family still has a relationship. That information didn't do well. Yeah, I mean, it changed a lot of things, but it also they just had to shift what their idea of a family looked like. So I feel like Joey is taking in a lot of really fast and challenging life, not hurdles, but stuff that, you don't talk about this shit on The Bachelor. You don't even talk about this shit on a goddamn Housewives show. He's subverting the dominant paradigm. It feels like, and I feel like maybe dude, please remind me that I'm talking this much shit when it's the end and he picks I don't know, blonde hair, whatever. Who knows?
But again, he's 26, so part of me is get engaged to whoever you want, dude. Again, it's a total crapshoot.
You're right. Oh God, why?
But I do appreciate that, unconventional families are getting airtime because,
Me
again, you
too.
and I were raised in the 80s where everyone on TV was a
Everyone.
straight functional family. And you and I came from households that were chaotic on a good day. So
On a good day, dude.
just to see that
On a good day.
you can emerge, really challenging family situations. We have this situation in our family, someone in their later years came out as gay and left, and it has an impact on everyone. It changes everyone, and everyone's okay. We're different and still a family, and you never see it on TV. It's just so nice to see
it's so
beloved
nice.
Joey, as someone who's been through it. He didn't have perfect parents, and I love that. It's probably why he's more interesting, because he's
so much more interesting.
Lived some life
you're right.
and had to learn about himself, and so yes, kudos to ABC for giving us something,
I feel better. I feel better about watching it. Let's not give any kudos to ABC yet, though. Let's not do it. This is Joey. This is Joey, and everyone knew we loved Joey, but those producers, God, I should know. I mean, I've watched this show for so long. I'm so mortified. I don't remember the name of the production company, but they're going to fuck shit up. They're going to fuck up Joey.
Yeah, no, I think the women, the women, they'll have plenty to work with there in terms of generating drama and stuff. But Joey, I'm genuinely rooting for. Again, people like Clayton and Pilot Pete. I was I don't care. But Joey, I'm oh, I really do hope you have a good experience and fall in love. Whether it lasts, I don't care. Just
he's darling. He's darling. Let's see. I watched The Bachelor, obviously watched the Salt Lake City conclusion. I know that everyone was talking about how great these episodes were, the second and the last one. I thought the third one was good. I don't know. I guess maybe because it's all been discussed ad nauseum, on Reddit and on the Bravo blogs on Instagram. It just felt like all of the discussions I'd already kind of cycled through. So let's see, and what else? I think I caught up on Potomac. My God, does that show? And I want to go back to Monica, okay? We need to touch base on Monica for 2 seconds. But before that, I need to say I caught up. I think I had 3 or 4 episodes of Potomac. My God, does that franchise need to be resuscitated? It is, I don't even know if it would satiate me as background television.
Oh, I've tried. It's so boring.
Terrible.
I can watch
it's the worst
anything
season ever.
I can watch anything. And this
Marky.
somehow a Housewives franchise has like made me turn off the TV. It's not
Yeah,
even possible.
I know. It's terrible.
I think I only got through like the first episode and a half. Like I don't even know what's going on and I don't care. How sad.
There's nothing going on. There's
No.
literally nothing going on. Candace and Ashley or Candace and Robin. But
Mm.
Robin, like, come on. Yeah, we need a goddamn boot. Watch Saturday Night Live with Jacob Elordi.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. And then, yeah, so Monica's not coming back. Oh, and I watch a later game. One I could fucking get on Hulu. Hulu never plays the games, and it makes me mad. Dude, who gives a shit? Like, seriously, don't listen to me.
No, I'm in the Stone Ages. Like, I still have cable because the streaming platforms don't carry football games on ABC and lots of Michigan games are on
Yeah.
ABC. So that's why I still have cable. That's literally why. I don't watch it for any other reason. It's for
that's
Michigan
why a lot
football.
of people. That's why a lot of people do. So no, that makes perfect sense. And had I known, maybe we wouldn't have cut the cord. I don't know. I'll just be like, my cousin and I text about the Lakers constantly, and we're always like, oh, Laker game at 7:30 on TNT. So it's like, yes, okay, we can actually watch this one. You know, they lost to the Clippers, man. The Clippers are so good this year. It makes
the Clippers,
me mad.
you know, they've been good. They've been cycling through good seasons for a while now.
They have been.
But they don't ever seem to have their time. I don't even know. Maybe they'll
I
be like the
know.
Lions in 30 years from now. They'll like be great, but I don't know.
I don't either.
I got really invested in them a few years ago and then I was like, no, they let me down. And now I'm like, I've turned my back on you. Back to the Lakers. Anyways, go ahead.
So Monica, she's not coming back to Salt Lake City, and I think it's ridiculous. I want to say though that she fights real fucking dirty, and I think that if she stopped, listen, aging is a fucking privilege. There is no other way to say that. 50 is coming for everybody. 40 is coming. I mean, like it's birthdays are coming for everybody as long as you're still in this mortal coil. And that is such a great thing. You know, that's what my friend Gabi always says, like aging is a privilege. So for her to be like flinging around the old people stuff, it's not even low-hanging fruit. It's like fossilized dog shit under the fruit tree, you know? It's empty. It's not like a real thing to fall on. It's one thing if it's like, okay, Lisa, you were a bitch about losing a $60,000 ring and freaking out on camera a lot. We all know. And telling Trixie Mattel, like Lisa Barlow can say until she's blue in the face that she didn't talk about losing this ring. All day long, we saw it. And I felt like it was a little repellent to talk about how much that ring cost ad nauseum, you know? I thought it was real classless. Monica would have a perfectly good argument for that if she didn't have to throw in all the stuff about physicalities and age. Monica, it's coming for you. It's coming for your daughters. It's a reality.
Yeah. And it's mean because like aging is a privilege and it's hard. You do become invisible. Even no matter how much work you do on your body and whatever, you're never young. And like young people turn heads and like it's just such a shitty thing to say. I was really disappointed in Monica in this third reunion bit because she was just lying like crazy. Like
totally.
I wanted her back so bad, but then I was like, the burn book was in such poor taste, but like, okay, that's a joke that went wrong. But then just like, then the information that she was watching security footage from Jen Shah's house, like, then I started to get freaked out and I was like, she's not well. And like, she hasn't been fired. She's been, she's taking a break. So maybe she'll find her way back. But like, wow, does she have a lot of ground to make up if she's going to earn the trust of anyone? Because that's so spooky. She installed security cameras, then watched the footage and then
oh my God,
used it to throw in Lisa's face about how she took a private plane with Snoop Dogg. Like, it's creepy. It's so creepy.
If I took a private plane with Snoop Dogg, I would get a satin jacket and I would take it to this really rad embroiderer somewhere in Oakland. And I would have her embroider on the back, I took a PJ with Snoop Dogg, AMA.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
I,
And
I, I
I would ask you all the
yeah.
things.
Oh my God. He was on Jimmy Kimmel last night and he was funny.
I adore him.
I do too. I love him so
You know, I
much.
have my little like Snoop Dogg candle that I light every morning.
Yes.
Because
I just,
he's living life right, man. He does so much other good stuff. You know, like he's started, Snoop Loops to open up the breakfast space for Black
that's right. I
entrepreneurs.
loved that. Yes,
He's
yes.
coaching, Pee Wee football. Like he's amazing. He is
I love
he
him.
gives a shit about his community. And it's not just lip service. He's like in it and investing his time and money. And I just love
Yeah.
him.
I
And I love
love
that he
him.
doesn't give a shit what anyone thinks. He's friends with
Yeah.
Martha Stewart. So like
That
he's
is,
fine with
yeah,
that. Like
it's great.
he's wonderful. He's lovely. Anyways.
I agree. So what the fuck was I talking about? Oh, Snoop Dogg and the private plane. I was rooting for her. I thought that she really shit the bed on the last installment of the reunion. I was like, Monica, dude, I wanted her back. And now I don't know. I feel, you know what? I feel so bad for her kids.
Me
I feel
too.
so.
That's tough.
Do you think the Burn book was like some sort of like a crossover interstitial? Like, is the studio that's releasing the Mean Girls reboot, is it like, can we trace it back to Bravo at all? So that's why they brought it up. It was
I don't
so
know.
stupid.
Andy Cohen looked real like not into it.
Yeah,
So
he
I
wasn't.
doubt it. It was
Okay.
just, yeah. I mean, I guess it's top of mind because the musical is out or whatever, but that was a real misfire. But, people make misfires like that. It's just the tonnage of terrible things that
So
Monica
much.
presented in that third episode. Wow. Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah. What was your antidepressant this week?
My antidepressant this week is so I think I talked before. There's this senior dog on TikTok who I love very much. Her name is
Mm,
Buttons,
that's
also known as
right.
Granny Potato.
That's
And
right.
so she's a senior dog. So this has been a long time coming. Granny Potato had to be put down early this week.
Mm,
And I was so sad. I made a plan with one of my friends and I realized I had read my schedule wrong. So I had to cancel. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I made this plan and with you, but I have to cancel because I'm like absolutely out of my mind, like grieving a virtual
oh,
dog who I've never met. And my friend then sent me like she drew all these pictures of a dog and like sent me things to cheer me up. Like it's so, and I'm going
that's so
on a hike
sweet.
with her today.
That's so
And it's
sweet.
ridiculous. The fact that I had like an
No.
emotional meltdown over a senior dog on TikTok. But my friends are so lovely that they're like, willing to indulge my grief on
I
this
love that.
level, take me, make sure I get out of the house and go on a hike. Like it's absurd. And so it just speaks to like the level of kindness and availability that my friends have to offer me.
Mhm.
They're always there for big things, positive and negative. But like something like this is just one of those moments where I'm like, my God, the sweetness in my life can be overwhelming. Like
Oh,
it's
dude.
so, wow. I love my friends. I'm so lucky. I'm
Yeah.
so aware of what for all of the hard shit that goes on in my life. Like I'm just surrounded by people who love me literally no matter what.
No matter what, until I leave this mortal coil.
And you are absolutely at the top of that list, my dear. So yeah.
100 for likewise.
Mm. How about you?
Yeah, it's been a rough week for beloved pets, and I want to just tell my friend Gabi that I love her so much, and I'm thinking about her tons. And
Mm.
she had to make a hard decision about her dog this week, and I that's like the one thing keeping me from getting a dog. I just don't know if I
Yes.
can. Anyway, yes, it's been, and I understand that, like there's a reason why Grandma Buttons was so, she tugged at heartstrings.
She's so cute. But she has an Instagram page that will live or a TikTok page that will live forever, you know?
That's
She's
great.
lovely. Anyways.
So my antidepressant this week is a literal antidepressant. I did ketamine in the office on Monday, and I just am so fucking profoundly grateful that I have this modality in my life. It's just I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless. I've started going down on one of my antidepressants. I don't take SSRIs because they don't work for me, but I take SSNIs, like whatever the Wellbutrin class is. Although, goddamn it, I can't take Wellbutrin because it exacerbates my anxiety. But I fucking love Wellbutrin. Dude, Wellbutrin is the shit. So, yeah, I'm starting to go off of one of my SSNIs, and I'm so fucking grateful. Yeah, it's just it's just every time I do that medicine, whether it's at home or whether it's in the office, just more and more and more comes up. And even if it's just like excruciatingly uncomfortable, I cried. I record my sessions. So
I love that.
I laughed during this journey. I sobbed during this journey. Like it was very Adriana Demora. And we need to do the ketamine episode badly. It's overdue.
Agree.
I love my ketamine therapist. I love my ketamine doctor. He's like so fucking Abbott Kinney in the best possible way, you know? So Venice. And as like he gave me my first injection and he's like, would you like a musical invocation? And my ketamine therapist and I were like, absolutely. So I have my eye mask on and I'm all cozy under my weighted blanket. And he did Pure Imagination from Willy Wonka on an acoustic guitar.
Oh
I
no, Ramona,
No,
no, you ruined
Margie!
it. He
I
played.
didn't.
He
He
pulled it.
did.
It is that
He's
scene from
so
Barbie.
cool.
Come
No,
on.
he's so cool. I
I
swear to
believe
God,
you.
he's
I
so
believe you.
cool. Like he's such a cool. He's so cool.
I believe you. I know your musical
He's
taste.
cool.
I know you would not settle for anything
Willy
less
Wonka
than spectacular.
or Charlie and the Chocolate. What's the original one from like this 1970? Is that Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, or do they?
I don't
Listen,
know.
the Johnny Depp one is persona non grata. I hate that one.
Yeah,
The new
trash.
Wonka, I really liked. I understand.
Oh, I
the
haven't
music
seen
was.
it yet. I've only
I thought
seen
I thought it was great. The cast is phenomenal. There is a lot of singing. I understand.
That's
And
fine. It makes sense in that
yeah,
world.
it does. But obviously, like the Gene Wilder Willy
Yes.
Wonka is
amazing.
Like what there's that bar is high. It's a classic. My point is, I love that song, and it brings me tears sometimes if I'm in that kind of a headspace and I hear it. It's just so sweet and innocent and full of hope and gentle. It's
Agreed.
gentle. And so I loved it. I was charmed. I was so charmed.
It makes total
Anyway,
sense.
yeah.
It was a funny setup, but it does
I
now
know.
that I
It
think of what
wasn't
the song actually sounds like and how that would like speak to
Right.
me if I was in that situation. Like, absolutely, of
Yeah.
course. He's not going to play like Hysteria by Muse, like that'd be insane.
Oh my God. But yeah, it was great. Just like a lot of tears before I started my journey, tears during my journey. And then it was just bliss for the rest of the day, just gooey bliss. Anyway, I'm fucking so profoundly grateful for ketamine. I'm so grateful for every little thing about it.
There's so much more
Yeah.
press about it. Like I see articles everywhere all the time about ketamine therapy, and I get really excited about it. I think, in
Yeah.
fact, there was someone I can't remember. Anyways, we'll do a ketamine episode, and I'll
Have
bring this
to.
up. But
Have
some
to.
unexpected like male figure was doing ketamine therapy and having a fantastic outcome. So,
Good. I'm
anyways,
glad.
yeah,
I'm really glad because it is, I mean, in my experience, it's clearly a life changer.
yeah,
It's literally a life changer.
yeah.
So I'm very grateful.
I bear witness to that, man, for sure.
Thank you. I just means the world. It means the world. Okay, so I know that we've been promising putting these on YouTube for the last. This is going to be week 3. Margie, should I just commit to doing it? Like, do I just put it up there today? Like, do we do that?
I don't know anything about how technology works, so like, sure, it would be my answer, but like,
I
I don't
mean,
know
like,
what that entails. So,
if I can figure out how to post it, it's going to
sure,
go up, right?
why not?
Okay. I guess,
Yeah.
yeah, to rip the Band-Aid off. So you will be able to find us on YouTube at A Therapeutic Dose. You can email us at atherapeuticdose@gmail.com. Find us on Instagram at A Therapeutic Dose. Rate, review, subscribe. Please. Thank you. Please and thank you.
Please and thank you very much.
Pass it on to your friends. Anything else, Margie?
No, just everybody take really good care of yourself. There's so much good reality TV on right now. Like, enjoy while it's raining.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, everyone. Yeah, take really good care. Do something nice for yourself today or this week. And we will come back to you next week with hopefully a more substantial episode of Beverly Hills.
God. We'll see.
Right?
Somehow we still managed to talk for like 2 hours, so whatever.
I know, we did.
I know. Anyways,
God.
Thanks everybody for listening. We'll talk next week.
Bye, everyone. Love you, friend. Bye. Ramona and Margie are obviously not doctors and do not provide medical advice. Their content is intended to be used for entertainment purposes only. It is not intended to be, should not be interpreted as, or used as a substitute for medical advice or a diagnosis of any health or fitness problem, condition, or disease, nor a recommendation for a specific test, doctor, care provider, procedure, treatment plan, product, or course of action.
My mom isn't a doctor.